And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. You know, I don't have to tell you, subscribe, watch, comment, and share because the insanity is just not stopping. So look, Trump is back from England, but last night on Air Force One, he had some pretty concerning comments. I mean, in all fairness, he really should just stay up front and get some sleep. But anyways, putting that aside, he said that evening shows are not allowed to say bad things about him. No, seriously, that they're not allowed because this isn't a democratic republic. No. Play the clip.
That's something that should be talked about for licensing too. When you have a network and you have evening shows and all they do is hit Trump. That's all they do. If you go back, I guess they haven't had a conservative on in years or something, somebody said. But when you go back and you take a look, all they do is hit Trump. They're licensed. They're not allowed to do that. They're an arm of the Democrat Party. Thank you, everybody.
No, in all fairness, they were equally brutal to Obama. They were equally brutal to Biden. That's just what they are. They're comics. It's late night television. It's comedy. Now, earlier yesterday in England, he actually went ahead, he contradicted himself, and he said that Jimmy Kimmel was fired because of lack of talent, not because what he said. Play the clip.
And on a separate issue, free speech, your Vice President Vance said that free speech is under attack in the UK. Do you agree with him? And Prime Minister, we saw the dismissal of a very well-known chat show host in America last night, Mr. Kimmel. Is free speech more under attack in Britain or America?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
Yeah. So let me say this. While being interviewed on Fox, Trump said that people on liberal shows must be drugged. They must be drugged out because of the craziness of their comments. Kind of like ironic, no? Play the clip.
Charlie said, that there was no such thing as hate speech. He obviously, no one anticipated what happened to Charlie, but you have always been in favor of free speech. Yeah, so do you have concerns about, some people look at this and your critics will say, well, this crackdown is a crackdown on free speech?
It's interesting. I watch your show and I watch others, and I see people saying things. They're crazy. These people are crazed lunatics, even the way they'll answer. It's like you'll see them, and the things they say are really bad, but they look crazy. They're almost crazed. Maybe they're drugged out. Maybe there's some other problem. But the kind of things you hear, actually you probably don't put most of them on, but the kind of things you hear are so unbelievable. You wouldn't think, you're a very regular person. I am too. I'm a regular person. Who would make the statements that they make?
Yeah. Let me say, speaking of crazy comments, reporter asked Trump on Air Force One if the women who protested him at that dinner at Joe's Seafood should go to jail. Protesting. Play the clip.
Mr. President, you said earlier this week that the women who yelled at you, who were protesting when you were at Joe's Stone Crab, should be in jail. Do you actually think that is an offense that deserves jail time?
I don't know how they got in there, but certainly I thought it was very inappropriate. And they said things that were and it was a question of when you take a look at the way they acted, the way they behaved. Yeah, I think they were a threat.
You think that deserves jail?
Do you agree with it?
I think they're a nasty organization.
But you think they deserve jail?
Well, I don't know. What's your Congress?
Yeah. Again, you see how I love how he puts people on the spot. What are you going to say when the guy's looming right over you? But in my Substack of today, it's a very personal one. So I do ask people to read it. I call this article, "My Scars Tell America's Darkest Truth." And in it, I talk about, obviously, my loss of my First Amendment constitutional right that had me remanded back to FCI Otisville. And why do I tell you this as I write? Not to seek pity, far from it. I tell you because the story I carry is no longer unique. The liberties I was deprived of, quietly, methodically, they're the liberties that we all must guard. The First Amendment is not merely academic. It's the scaffolding of our republic. And when government, corporations, or mobs conspire, overtly or through cowardly acquiescence, to chill speech, punish dissent, or reshape truth to suit profit or power, we cross a line that cannot be crossed without consequence. I mean, I spent my entire life inside the theater of power. I learned its script. I learned how quickly rights can erode when the people who profit from silence decide that speaking out is too costly. This is what we're seeing right now, every single day. Imagine the women who protest. Yeah, they should go to jail. Tell you another person that he thinks should be deported. Forget about even jail, should be deported. Trump also talked about Representative Ilhan Omar, whether you like her or not. Wants to have her deported. Play the clip.
Last week in the Oval Office, I asked you about if Ilhan Omar should be censored. Congress censored her. I just want to get your reaction to that.
They did censor her. Good. When did this happen?
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I think she's terrible. I think she should be impeached. I think she's terrible. Was she originally from Somalia?
Yes, sir.
So how are they doing it? How's their government? Do they have a president? Do they have a council? Do they have anything? Do they have police? I love these people that come from a place with nothing, no anything, and then they tell us how to run our country. Now I think if she got censured, that's great. If she got impeached, that's even better. They impeached me twice for nothing.
Yeah. Let me also be very clear. The vote to censure her, it didn't go through. Therefore, she was actually never censured. I mean, let me be very clear about another thing. I mean, this, again, it's why I say subscribe, comment, share. Why? Because this stuff's not stopping every single day, more and more. And there wouldn't be a Trump interview with press without a ramble, without just on and on and on the weave. This time, about windmills. Play the clip.
Every time you put up a windmill, it costs the country billions of dollars a year to have that horrible thing turn. It's ugly, it's bad for the environment, it kills the birds, and beyond that, it costs a fortune. And you should make money with energy, you shouldn't lose money. With windmills you lose, including those massive solar fields, that take up all the farmland. And they're black plastic from China. You ever see what happens to a bird when the birds land? They get fried because it's hot. So you don't need a saucer. You don't need a stove. No, a bird lands on it.
I mean, you got to give the guy credit. He should not be the president. He should, again, have his own talk show because he is funny as hell. Yes, they land on it. They end up basically dissolving. They explode, right? You don't need a stove anymore. Lots of bird. Meanwhile, yesterday, Trump finally admitted that drug prices are actually going to increase. What happened to the 1,400, 1,500% discount? I've been waiting. I need it. Play the clip.
To agree. You understand.
Yeah.
And we're going to be reducing drug costs over the next year and a half by not 50 or 60%, by 1,000%. Because if you think a $10 pill so it'll be raised up from 10 to 20 because it's the world versus us. So the world is a bigger place. So it'll go from 10 to 20. It won't go from 10 to 50 or 60 for them, which is bearable. And it'll go from 10 to 20 for us. So you're talking about a monumental change in healthcare. That's going to affect Medicare, Medicaid, even Social Security. It's going to affect everything.
Wait. Did he just say that the price per drug is going to go from $10 to $20? Well, I may not be a mathematician, but that sounds to me like 100% increase. not a 1,400 or 1,000% decrease. Well, which one is it? Now, Martha McCallum goes on and asks Trump about poll numbers regarding tariffs. His response was maybe his most correct answer of the day. Play the clip.
There's never been a number like that.
So with regard to people's feeling about the economy and the tariffs, and some polls show that people are concerned about the tariffs as well.
That's only because they don't understand the word tariff. I mean, look.
No, they understand the word tariff. You know what else they understand? That the money in their pockets, the money in their bank accounts are not going nearly as far because the cost of every item is increasing. And why? I'm going to use my three famous words. Tariffs are taxes. Consumers pay tariffs. Don't call us stupid. We certainly understand. We know what the word is. We know how to spell it. And we know what it's doing to our pocketbooks. Finally, Trump told McCallum that the war in Ukraine doesn't affect us. And why? Because of the ocean. Play that clip.
If you're going to win, you're going to have to not buy oil from Russia. But we're going to see how it turns out. I hope it turns out well. It doesn't affect us because, we have a big ocean in between, but you're losing millions of people. And they're mostly soldiers, Russian soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers.
Look, let me also be very clear about something. There's so much misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation that's out there. It's enough to make your head spin. I conclude my Substack, the one I call My Scars Tell America's Darkest Truth. I concluded by basically thanking each and every one of you, for all of you who have read, shared, and stood with me during this journey. Know this: the fight for the First Amendment, it's not mine alone. It is ours. And so long as there's a breath in my lungs, I will continue to push. I will continue to ask for normalcy, for peace, and for the assurance that no one else will have to face what I faced alone. And that's why I ask you, share this, help build this community, because without you, we're sunk. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. We're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.